And good morning, Minecraft. This is Mr. Keserian, and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play series. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have been remiss in updating for quite some time, mostly because I've, been having some technical difficulties lately. Basically, Minecraft was crashing after about 10 minutes every time I tried to play. Fixed it, I hope. We'll see how this episode goes. But, yeah, so hopefully we have that fixed. I did some changes in here in the meantime. This looks sick. Isn't this wonderful? Look at this. This room here is eventually going to be a control room, but I'm still working on the designs for it, so we'll get that done in a little bit. But today, we're going to fix an issue that I've actually been having for quite some time. So let's go take a look in here. Okay. So as you know, all of those ovens over there, those coke ovens, are all feeding in and powering coal coke for my generator over here. It's currently running. Turbine's running. Yep. Okay, everything's running fine. And they're basically powering my entire base. Now, the problem is that this tank eventually fills up because I don't have enough creosote oil being generated to run this high-pressure boiler purely off creosote oil. Actually, I have it running on fuel right now because I found the world's largest geyser, oil geyser. For those of you who don't know, the taller the geyser above ground, the more the oil underground. And honest to God, I found the largest geyser I think I've ever seen. It's easily like 50 blocks tall, maybe? It's huge, utterly massive. So, yes, I ended up tapping that, and it's currently fueling this thing. About halfway full. Fuel, by the way, lasts pretty much forever inside there. So, what we're going to work on today, but the problem... Excuse me, didn't finish explaining the problem. The problem is this will fill up. Right? Because I'm not really drawing any of it anywhere. When it fills up, it'll backflow the pipes, and then it'll fill up those coke ovens. When the coke ovens fill up, well, they stop running, and then one of my boilers turns off, and it's kind of irritating to me. So today, we're going to fix that. Yes, we are. We are going to fix it. Can I do this like I want to? I put it here or here. Yeah, I can do this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put an automated system. What the automated system is going to do is it's going to enable this thing, and it's going to activate the flow from this into there. Pretty much, it's going to activate the flow from here into there whenever this tank fills up. When it empties, it'll switch back to whatever the default is, which I believe will be fuel for right now, considering I'm almost halfway full on this tank, over halfway full on this tank. So yeah, alright, let me pull some items together and we'll be right back. Now, as you guys could probably guess, I don't want to have to run red wire all the way over there. Not at all. So instead, we are going to use wireless redstone, Chicken Bones edition. But these things can be kind of a pain in the butt to craft. So you can see I got some blank patterns in my inventory. And we're going to look up, what are we looking up again? Right. Wireless receivers. Some stone wafers, some stone wire, oh boy. Now you guys have seen me craft this stuff before, but I don't know if I have any stone. I got some stone wafers. I got stone anode, we may need that. Let's get some redstone, and do I have any smooth stone? No. So let's grab about a stack of 2 stacks of cobble. I have some right here in my inventory. Alright, we don't even need that anymore. And one of these guys, I think, is a furnace, isn't it? Yeah, powered furnace. So what we're going to say, if I look up the recipe for a stone wafer, we're going to encode it. 1 stone to 2 wafers. So we're going to say 2 wafers. And 1 stone becomes 2 wafers. Okay? And then we're going to encode it. And we're going to shove it into here. Nice. Okay. So then we're going to say that a wafer and a redstone is a wire. Encode it. Then we're going to say, well, let's just throw this in our machine here. Then let's say, if I look at this wireless receiver, I'm going to need a receiver dish, a stone bowl, 3 pieces of smooth stone. So let's say 3 pieces of smooth stone, and my blank pattern, and I get a stone bowl. Not too shabby. Okay, then what else do we need? Looking at this, we need a wireless receiver dish. It's a transceiver. We need a Aether pearl and obsidian stick. Well, the obsidian stick's easy. Just get ourselves 2 pieces of obsidian. And where are my blank patterns? There they are. Throw one of those in there. And we get our obsidian sticks. Nice. There it is. Boom. Alright, now let's see if I have any ender pearls. I do. So let's take an ender pearl. And then, if I remember correctly, wireless... That's right. There's no way to click out of that interface. Between that, wireless Aether pearl. Redstone and glowstone. So let's get some redstone. Oh, we already have some redstone. Let's get some glowstone. Was it like this? And like that? Yep, that it was. Okay. So now, if we look at this, wireless receiver, receiver dish, we need a Aether pearl and obsidian stick. Well, let's get ourselves some obsidian sticks. Oh, no. Boom, boom, boom. And a Aether pearl. So that we can teach our system here about this. Boom. Encoded assembly pattern, wireless transceiver. Okay. Now let's get ourselves a transceiver. And let's get ourselves a stone bowl. And now let's teach the system that a transceiver, a stone bowl, gets us a wireless receiver dish. Encode. Okay. We need obsidian stick, some wafer, and some wire. So let's get ourselves... Oh, I put my redstone away. Oh, furnace just turned on. Not certain how it made one stone wire. Oh, okay, because you only get one. Did I need 2 of those? Let's see. Yes, I do. I do need 2 of those. So let's get ourselves another piece of stone wire. And let's get ourselves a receiver dish. Nice. So now if I tell it that a receiver dish... Oop, no. A receiver dish, 1 wafer, an obsidian stick, which I didn't have in my inventory for some unknown reason. Oops. Receiver dish, stick, wafer, and 2 wires will get me a wireless receiver. Encode. And now if I look at the transmitter, it's a transceiver, which we already have in here. Transceiver, wireless transceiver, begin crafting. I didn't need another one, did I? Excuse me. We get ourselves a transceiver, a stick, a wafer, And 2 more wires. We get ourselves a wireless transmitter. Nice. Am I out of blank patterns? No, I have 3 more. Boom. Nice and simple. Okay. So let us... Well, we already have enough for one of the receivers we're going to need. Receiver dish, that, that, and that gets us a receiver. So let us dump all of this extra stuff we've made, like that, and we'll get a wireless receiver. And we'll get ourselves 2 wireless transmitters. And we should see things happening back there. Here we go, and one wireless transmitter. And we're probably waiting on... some ender pearls. So why don't we fix that really quick. Let's get ourselves 16 of them. Dump it in here. And if I'm right, we should get ourselves the second wireless transmitter. Fantastic. So in the meantime, we're going to cook up some gates, and I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back, and I am hooking this up. Now, there's a similar system downstairs to what I'm setting up right here on this second tank. Remember, these tanks are actually 2 units. So what this thing does is this says, this gate here, if the tank's full, emit a redstone signal. The one downstairs is saying if the tank's empty, emit a redstone signal. Makes sense, right? Now, what are we going to do with this redstone signal? Well, we're going to attach it to a wireless transmitter. Boom! Wireless transmitter. Come on, Optifine. Load the wireless transmitter. Load it. Oh, for heaven's sakes. There it goes. All right. Sometimes Optifine gets a little bit finicky. Now, if you notice, this thing's facing the wrong way, and it's not connecting to this red wire. Well, chicken bones, and the reason it's working so well, and it also uses stone wafers, as you saw from the recipe, is because the chicken bones wireless redstone actually hooks into the red power 2 functionality, and you can rotate it. And it should connect. It doesn't look like it is, but that's because I'm using Optifine. So, holy Christ, Batman! Look at this interface. Well, it's actually pretty simple. We have our increment buttons over here, self-explanatory. And just like the Tesseract, we can set the name. So we'll call this one Creosote Tank Full. Set name. Nice and easy, right? Right. Okay. So the other thing you have to keep in mind with this setup is, for the gate to detect the tank, the gate must be adjacent to a tank valve. Okay? It has to be, otherwise it won't work. It won't even detect that there's a tank there. Alright, so let's jump downstairs and we'll see how we're going to set the system up. Downstairs we go. Let's run over here. And let's take a look at this. So I now have 2 Tesseracts set up here. And we're going to actually knock down this part of the wall, just to give ourselves a little bit more space. And I think 3 blocks should be enough. It's originally meant to be a hallway. Now we're going to have to do this kind of quick, because that Tesseract is currently set up to require a signal on high. Okay? So we're going to put a lever... Can I put a lever on it? No. Can I put a lever next to it? Probably. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put down our RS latch. And I have 2 of them for some unknown reason. Alright, so our RS latch is here. Now, in its default state, we want it to be powering this one. So let's spin it. Spin it. No. It's going to be kind of complicated to set it up. But, oh well. So we're going to have this powering like that. And if I remember correctly from my previous experimentations in Redstone, that should actually power it. I think. Let's find out. Waste a little bit of fuel, but let's find out. Now, if the fuel fills back up, it is powering it, alright? Yep, that is powering it. Beautiful. Okay, and then this one is going to come over here, like that. And that'll update eventually. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our wireless receivers. We're going to put one of them here, and we're going to put one of them here. And let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, so a signal comes through. This side powers that, I believe. So this one is going to say creosote tank empty. Okay? And this one is going to say creosote tank full. Nice and easy. So what should happen is when the creosote tank fills up, it'll kick it over to the creosote oil, right? Then when it empties, it'll kick it back to the default state. Nice and simple, right? And fairly compact. So let us actually... The only really good way to test this is actually to rip these up and to get ourselves a lever. Okay, so the creosote... Stupid wire. Plop. And right there. So the creosote tank... Okay, that is correct. This is the creosote tank is empty. As you can see here, it doesn't change the state much. At all, to be honest with you. Pop that off. And now the creosote tank is full. So we want to drain the creosote oil out. And notice, repeated pulses on this line don't change anything. But now we are theoretically powering the creosote output line. Fantastic. So let's put our two wireless receivers back in. We should be all set. Wireless receiver. There we go. Ba-dump. Ba-dump. We'll set this one to creosote tank empty. And we'll set this one to creosote tank full. Now, what's interesting fact that's going to happen here is that we're actually starting it in the drain state. Now, it shouldn't matter what state we start this machine in, because once it's running, it'll pretty much self-regulate. And we should have solved the issue of running out of, fuel. Well, we're not going to run out of that sort of fuel anytime soon. But you get my point, running out of creosote oil. And we also... Is that going up or going down? I can't tell. Do I have a sign handy? Sign. I have no signs. Let me go rip a sign down from upstairs. Also, I've been taking the upstairs signs, the storage units upstairs, and I've actually been sticking them... I've stuck all of them inside of the drive bay because it uses up less power that way. And so these are completely irrelevant. Sign, please. Let's hop downstairs. And no, I haven't actually run my quarry in a while. I admit that. That's fine. So let's come over here and let's say it's at 772. Beautiful. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to figure out what we're going to do for the remainder of this episode, and I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back out at my bee laboratory. Why are we back out at the bee labs? Well, I've been doing some work off camera, and I've decided it's finally time to explain to you guys how bee breeding works. So yes, I'll be right back as soon as I get some crap together. Alright, so now that my friend has been incredibly dirty, we will get started here. So how do bees breed? Well, besides the obvious. Bees breed by mixing two of them together in an apiary, which I know you've seen. But you've only seen me do with standard species. Do I have a queen? I do have a cultivated queen. Oh, I need a princess. Are you? Yes, okay. So we're going to... turn you off. Except they just rebred. And we're going to wait until the morning. Alright, be right back. Alright, so the damn bees finally died. And now I can show you how you breed them. Anyways. So all you do is you take two bees of different species. For this combination, we're going with a cultivated and a common. And those are bees that I bred earlier, up the same tier. And what we're aiming for is the noble, because I want to get to some extra bees stuff. Extra bees is a mod for a mod, because we like mods, and we put mods in our mods in our mods. Um, yeah, wait until the add-ons for Greg Tech start coming out. Then we'll have mods in our mods in our mods. Anyways, so there's this whole contraption here, which I haven't yet gotten to work. Dyer tried this. He kind of got it to work, but I haven't rewatched the episode to see how the hell he did it. Basically, this is an extra bees machine called the gene pool. What it does is it takes bees and it melts them. It melts them down into delicious liquid DNA. And you get more of this liquid DNA if your bees are analyzed, hence this BEEEEEES here. I just haven't managed to actually get this thing to work correctly. What it's supposed to do is use this thing to automatically feed down into here. But because the bees don't stack, there isn't enough buffer space, really, for this to work. So, yeah. I'm going to probably tear this out and redo it. For now, I'm just manually sticking things in. The gene pool is crafted like so. Some tanks, gold, redstone, and a genetic machine. The genetic machine, an apiarist machine, circuit board, lapis, apiarist machine, sturdy casing, copper, and redstone. Nice and simple. Have you cleared your backlog? Almost. I hadn't come out here for a while, and there were items everywhere, and it was a mess. And this tank was full, so I had to use some capsules to fill it or empty it, and I had to use some of the wax, not like I don't have enough to do that, and it was a mess. So anyways, the other machines you can make from here, most of the cool ones require you to have royal jelly, which you get from the noble branch. And we're still waiting on the cultivated queen to die off. When that cultivated queen dies, we're going to shove her into our BEEEEEES. Yes, keep your brains as dirty as you'd like. We're going to put the queen into the BEEEEEES, and what that does is it analyzes the bee. So if we analyze the Rocky here, we can see its lifespan's short, speed slowest, pollen slowest, flowers, rock, fertility, area, effect. We can come down here, see some other traits. These Rockies actually have really good traits. Nocturnal, so they can work at night. Flyer, so they can work in rainstorms. And cave, so they don't need to see the sun. Now, the extra bees machines we have will actually allow us to isolate those traits and to impart them into other bees. Cool, right? Right. This will be at the cost of liquid DNA, and unholy amounts of power. Like, really unholy amounts of Minecraft joules. One of those machines can draw up to 100 Minecraft joules per tick. That's a lot of power. To put that in perspective, I think that's a little bit... It's about half of one of my boilers. I think. I need to redo the calculations on how much MJ those things actually produce. But it is a lot of power. So we're going to wait for this bee to die off. And don't worry, guys. I will actually be doing most of this off camera. Now, the cool thing is that with extra bees, you can get a lot of cool items from bees. You can get emeralds. You can get diamonds. Mind you, it takes forever in a day. And you can also get oil. I'm guessing you guys can see where this is going, right? Right. But first, we need to get some royal jelly so that we can make what are called serum vials. Royal jelly, some gold, and some glass panes. So we're just going to wait for this to die off, which shouldn't be too long now, maybe a couple more minutes here. And then once that's done, we'll chuck her in her BEEEEEES. Well, not her, but we'll chuck the drones and the princess in the BEEEEEES, and hopefully we got a lucky mutation. There's only a chance that we'll actually get the correct mutation to generate the bee we need. And by the way, guys, I'd highly recommend checking out Flora Star's channel. She is the bee queen. So much so that if you look up the Master Apiarist database, which is a cheat item that shows you all of the bees and how you get them, it's a Flora in a box. Yep. That is how good she is with the bees. Okay, so we didn't get any purebred. We just got a bunch of cultivateds. And I think this is how you get nobles. I hope it is. Yep, see cultivated noble. Cultivated common. That's not so good. And cultivated common. So now what we're going to do... we're going to throw these in. and hopefully we'll get a lucky result. But just know, guys, that I'm going to keep doing this. Utility mode. Why am I in utility mode? Okay, we're going to keep doing this until such a point as we find out what we can, well, there are ways to speed up the life cycle. I think we can use a frame. Which frame am I looking for? Okay. Soul frame. Impregnated frame and some soul sand. So let me get 3 of these impregnated frames. And I think I have some soul sand back home. I should really run an ME cable out here, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet, guys. So these frames, you've seen the impregnated frames that just increase the production rate. Well, the soul frame actually increases the mutation chance of the bee. So let me... Why don't I have an access point in this room? I should put one in between this episode and next. So let me run over here. And I know I'm probably already running over, but such is the price of trying to get a job done. And all we need to do is put our soul frame, our soul sand, with our impregnated frame, and we get ourselves some of these soul frames. Whee! So let's run back upstairs and outside, and let's shove these things into our apiary. Because that's what we do, apparently. And I still have a lot of cleanup to do around the house. I am almost starving. Let's eat some potatoes. That's better. Why did they add the burp sound effect after every single time you eat a food item? I don't understand Mojang sometimes. Okay, so let's get back up here. And let's throw in the soul frame. And hopefully we'll get a mutation out of this. But I'll be back once we actually get a noble queen and a purebred noble that we can use. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have it. I have a noble diligent and a purebred noble. Let me take a look over here. You know what? I'm going to throw these guys back in here, but I'm going to remove the soul frames. Because I don't want them to mutate anymore. I just want them to purify. So we'll throw the soul frames in there. Get rid of NEI, resort. Okay. Now, hopefully, in between this episode and next, I'll have a purebred noble. I hope. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a good place to end the episode because we have been successful. We put in our automatic creosote oil switching system. We put in our bee system. We have nobles going. And maybe in the nearby future, we can actually get started with some extra bees stuff, which is cool. Some more machines to manipulate our bees. And I'm going to have to do some terraforming because that's going to irritate the daylights out of me. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. This has been Mr. Keserian. As always, if you liked this episode, please comment, hit the like button, or subscribe. It really does help. Lets me know that I'm doing something good and that you enjoy what I'm doing. If you have any suggestions or stuff you want me to cover and or build, please let me know in the comments. I will happily take requests. And yeah. So, thank you so much. I'll see you next time, and hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Happy mining.